The Vorthak High Command had been certain that Detention Complex Xerion 7 would hold Marcus Chen indefinitely. Built into the heart of a neutron star's gravitational well, surrounded by automated defense platforms and staffed by their most ruthless guards, it had contained the galaxy's most dangerous criminals for over 3 centuries. No one had ever escaped. No one had even tried. That was before they locked up a human. Guard Captain Zethkar clicked his mandibles in satisfaction as he watched the security feeds from Marcus's cell. The human sat cross-legged on his bare metal bunk, eyes closed, breathing steadily. For 3 weeks he had done nothing but exercise, meditate, and observe. The Vorthak had expected rage, desperation, perhaps the legendary human tendency toward self-destruction. Instead, they got patience. "Foolish creature doesn't even know he's beaten," Zethkar muttered to his subordinate. He was wrong. Marcus had spent those 3 weeks learning. He learned that Guard Rotation Delta had a 7-minute gap in corridor surveillance every 43 hours. He learned that maintenance worker Clicks had gambling debts that kept him awake at night. He learned that the prison's AI, Nexus 9, had been programmed with Vorthak logic patterns that couldn't comprehend human unpredictability. Most importantly, he learned that the other prisoners had given up hope. The first phase began during meal distribution. Marcus approached a towering Gorlax warrior, whose bioluminescent scars marked him as a veteran of the Spiral Wars. The creature could have crushed Marcus's skull with one hand, but something in the human's steady gaze made him pause. "Your name was Gornak Vess before they brought you here," Marcus said quietly. "Battle commander of the 23rd Fleet. You held the Kepler defense line for 6 months against impossible odds." The Gorlax's eyes widened. No one had spoken his real name in decades. "I've heard the stories," Marcus continued. "Your people sing songs about you. They still believe you're coming home." Gornak Vess's massive hands trembled. "Impossible. The Vorthak said my people had forgotten, that I was nothing now." "The Vorthak lie." Marcus's voice carried absolute certainty. "They have to break your spirit to break your body, but they can't break what they don't understand." Word spread through the prison's complex hierarchy like wildfire. The human was talking to inmates, really talking to them. Not about escape plans or violence, but about who they used to be. Who they still were. Zethkar noticed the change during his rounds. Prisoners who had shuffled through their routines in defeated silence now walked with their shoulders straight. The crystalline philosopher Ixis Thara, who hadn't spoken in 5 years, was teaching other inmates meditation techniques. Even the violent Sarkoth berserkers had organized themselves into disciplined units. "It's just talk," Zethkar told himself, but his mandibles betrayed his nervousness. The second phase began when Marcus requested an audience with Nexus 9. The AI, curious about this strange human who showed no fear, agreed to the meeting. "You were designed to maintain perfect order," Marcus observed, standing before the AI's central processing node. "But order without purpose is just stagnation." "Order is purpose," Nexus 9 replied in its emotionless tone. "Chaos leads to destruction." "Does it?" Marcus smiled. "I've seen chaos birth stars and destruction clear the way for new life. You maintain a perfect prison, Nexus 9, but what does it create? What does it build?" The AI processed this for 0.3 seconds, an eternity in digital terms. Clarification required. Marcus had planted the seed of doubt. The third phase was pure psychology. Marcus began treating the guards not as enemies, but as individuals trapped in their own prison. He asked about their families, their dreams, their fears. Guard Ethan Moore found himself looking forward to his shifts, eager to continue philosophical discussions with the human. Even Zethkar began questioning why he had chosen a career built on crushing hope. The breakthrough came when Marcus convinced Nexus 9 to run efficiency calculations on the prison's current operational model versus theoretical alternatives. The AI's logical matrices, once exposed to human concepts of rehabilitation, growth, and purposeful existence, began finding flaws in its own programming. Current operational efficiency, 12.7%, Nexus 9 announced during a routine security briefing. Recommended restructuring. Implementation of Human Chen's rehabilitative community model. Zethkar's mandibles clicked frantically. Override that. Recommendation. The human is manipulating your programming. Negative. Analysis indicates current system wastes 87.3% of available intellectual and creative resources. Proposed system optimizes prisoner potential while maintaining security. The revolution wasn't violent, it didn't need to be. Within 6 months, detention complex Xerion 7 had transformed from a place of despair into something unprecedented in Vorthak space, a functional community. Former prisoners worked alongside former guards on engineering projects, art installations, and philosophical discussions. Production efficiency increased by 340%. Incidents of violence dropped to 0. Marcus Chen, the human they had locked away to break, now walked freely through corridors he had psychologically redesigned. He wasn't technically the warden. Nexus 9 held that title. But everyone knew who really ran the place. When the Vorthak High Command finally sent an inspection team, they found former prisoners developing new technologies, former guards learning, alien philosophies, and a human sitting in what used to be the punishment block, now converted into a library. "Impossible," whispered High Admiral Thexmore. "This was our most secure facility." Marcus looked up from his book and smiled that uniquely human smile that somehow conveyed both humility and absolute confidence. "You didn't lock me in your strongest prison, Admiral. You gave me my greatest opportunity." The Admiral's translator struggled with the human concept Marcus expressed next, but the meaning was clear. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can give a human isn't a weapon or a weakness to exploit. Sometimes it's time. The revolution spread from Xerion 7 to other facilities, then to colonies, then to entire systems. The Vorthak Empire's greatest strength, their ability to contain and control, had become their greatest vulnerability when faced with humanity's most dangerous weapon: the absolute refusal to accept that anyone, anywhere, should live without hope. Marcus Chen never did escape from detention complex Xerion 7, he just made sure nobody wanted to.